Hello guys, what is up? This is GalacticElliot welcoming you to NPA Season 3, Week number 6. Your Chicago Cubchoos, who are 4-1, are going against King Bub and the Munchlaxster United. They are 2-3 currently, but for those that are not aware, King Bub is actually the coach who took over for Pokemon Master Steve, aka Magnitude, and the Milwaukee Sawsbucks. So, for those that are not aware with how I play and what I do, I typically do live commentary. This battle, however, did take a long time and did actually go to timer. So, I may or may not put the live battle in the description. We'll see what happens, but it did go to timer, and it was over an hour long. So, I didn't really think that anybody really want to watch this if it took so long, and especially if it was live. But if anybody likes live commentary and wants to see my kind of game plan and all that, then you can watch the live one if I end up uploading it. Who knows if I do. But we ended up bringing Arcanine, Salamence, Metagross, Eelektross, Clefable, and Tentacruel this week, and he brought Golbat, Meloetta, Greninja, Pinsir, Celebi, and Suicune. So, some bulk to the team, and you guys will see just how bulky his team is. So, over here, I was trying to think about a good lead, and honestly, I was thinking about possibly going with the beautiful Arcanine lead. So, this week we actually ended up running Burn Up, and I wanted to kind of try it out, especially with the Suicune. I did bring the Toxic on this thing as well. I actually was anticipating him to bring Conkeldurr and Heracross, which is why I didn't bring too much I guess, status inflicting moves, so I ended up only having Toxic on the Arcanine as the only status inflicting moves. So let's get right into the battle over here. We're actually using Citra, so hopefully the, I guess, quality looks good to you guys and whatnot. So yeah, he's going to go ahead and lead off with Golbat, as I was anticipating a possible Suicune lead, actually. So over here, I decided to go straight for the Burn Up as I was trying to scout what he wanted to do, and he goes straight for the Super Fan to get half the HP out of the way. So go for the Burn Up, it does some good damage, and unfortunately, we are not going to be able to use that again, as it typically pretty much makes our typing null. So over here, we do see the taunt, and he is pretty much going to predict the fact that I want to use Morning Sun if I am the bulky set. He actually did end up speed creeping my Arcanine, which is bulky, and big props to him, honestly. So he's going to go for the Super Fang again, get as much damage as possible. And over here, I'm in a really tight spot. I cannot switch out, and I really do want to get a Morning Sun off and whatnot, just to kind of see how much HP I can really restore and see if he even has the Roost, which he does. So we know 3 of his 4 moves already, and we can tell this is a very bulky Golbat, which I wasn't looking forward to going against. So the time wears off over here, and I decided to go for the Morning Sun. On this turn, I really should have went for the aggressive play and switched out into something like Eelektross or maybe even Mega Metagross, because I needed to get some sort of, you know, initial activity going on over here. And over here, I really didn't have a clean switch into anything, as he just goes to the Super Fang again. I didn't really want anything else to really take half damage. I had the Black Sludge, so I know I'll be okay. So over here, he goes to Brittany Bitch, which is the Meloetta, and we're going to knock off the Assault Vest. So, pretty interesting stuff over here. And over here, we're actually going to withdraw and go into Clefable to take on a move. And he's actually going to go for the knockoff. And this play is huge, as he knocks off our Cavia Berry for anticipated poison-type moves. And over here, we notice that this Meloetta is actually mixed. So, that is pretty insane, or possibly even fully physical. I'm not really sure. So over here we get the rocks up, and he obviously predicted that, as he is just going to go straight for the Defog, obviously, as I switch back into Tentacruel, anticipating the possible Super Fang. We have really no way of getting, you know, past Defog. The only way to really get past it is if we use something like Protect, which obviously wouldn't really do much in the long run anyways. So he switches back out into the Meloetta as we use Sludge Wave over here. So we go for the Sludge Wave. It does very little HP, but it actually does snag the 10% poison. So that was very nice for us, as that poison is going to do a lot of damage. I didn't realize how much damage it actually did in the first place. So over here, I'm going to make the hard switch out into Metagross, predicting the possible knockoff or U-turn, or the possible even Psychic-type move. So he actually goes for the U-turn over here, and he goes to the Mary Jane, the Celebi. So I didn't know what this thing wanted to do. I was anticipating the T-Wave, as I'm going to go out into Eelektross over here, and the Thunder Wave goes off, and it does not affect, which is very nice for us. So over here, he's going to go and switch back out into the Meloetta, as we're going to go for the Signal Beam. I was using that against the Celebi, and we are going to grab the kill. The poison does so much damage to Meloetta, which is beautiful, and this is his opportunity to go back onto Golbat. So I was like kind of anticipating him to make a double over here, and I anticipated him to go for the Super Fang. I didn't really want to take a Super Fang, so I went back into the Tentacle over here, because Eelektross is going to be very important in this matchup. So I'm going to make a double over here and go into Mega Gross, predicting the possible switch into Pinsir, as he is going to go out into the Pinsir. So I am packing Rock Slide this week to kill this thing in one shot, but his switch every single time is going to be the Celebi. And you guys are going to see just how little this beautiful rock slide will do, which is actually going to end up doing practically nothing. We do not see leftovers though, and that is going to lead me to think this is a Z-Power Celebi, but he really is like Clay with light screen. So that was something that we learned right away, and I was like, oh man, this is going to be bad. So over here, I'm going to go ahead and go for the T-Bolt, predicting the switch, which is very nice. It's not going to do a lot of damage thanks to the light screen though, and I don't want to take another Super Fang, or at all any Super Fang, so I go ahead and crack in it again. He goes for the Roost. I kind of stayed in, kind of anticipating the Roost, but I didn't really think he was going to play too safe around me. I could have gone for the Volt Switch, but obviously I didn't want to take the Super Fang, so he switches back out, goes into CJ Fly the Pinsir, and we're going to go for the knock over here. Obvious knockoff is obvious, and the obvious switch into Pinsir is obvious. I didn't really want to make the aggressive move into the Mega Ghost again. Over here, I'm kind of forced to make a aggressive switch, and Hyper Cutter, I completely forgot that was even an ability that Pinsir can get, so it actually does block off the Intimidate, and he Mega Evolves into Mega Pinsir. He's going to go for the X's over here, as we can live that quite easily. Unfortunately, though, I don't think we can live any sort of other move. If he goes for something like a return, we are dead, so that he's going to go ahead and kill us. And really unfortunate. I really didn't have any switching. I was predicting possibly him using Earthquake, which is why I didn't want to switch. Really could have switched down to Mega Ghost though, and you know, over here I have to go for the double because I'm expecting the Celebi. He did it twice. This is gonna be the third time he goes into Celebi, so he has really no reason not to. And over here he's gonna go for the Reflect actually, as I end up going for the Volt Switch since I was predicting him to go back out into Golbat. So very unfortunate turn events over here as I go into the Mence over here just to kind of see what I can do. The light screen wears off, so I'm like, why not pretty much go for a Fire Blast, as he's going to go ahead and predict the Fire Blast and go into Suicune. So I go for the Fire Blast, and I'm like, what if this actually burns? And it actually did burn. So I think that's another 10% status inflicting move, which is unfortunate, but you know, honestly, burning something like this doesn't really matter. But getting that Meloetta Poison was very, very nice. I'm not going to lie. Obviously, that's the reason why I died, which was pretty funny. So over here, I go out into my Clefable as he goes on a Pinsir, and he actually makes a hard switch back out into Celebi as I go into Metagross, predicting my switch. So a good play on his part, predicting my switch and making the double, as I'm going to make another switch out into Lytros, as he is just going to go for the light screen, obviously. So nothing I can really do about that, honestly, which sucks. And at this point, I didn't know whether it had any other moves, and obviously I didn't want to take the T-Wave potentially, so yeah. This turn, I go for the Signal Beam, and he goes into this piece of crap. So over here, I have to make another switch. I go back to Kraken, just take another Super Fang if he wants to throw it at us, and he's going to go with the Super Fang. So lots of switches, and he has not missed a single Super Fang yet. If you guys didn't see my match against T-Train a couple weeks ago, I missed twice. I missed two Hammer Arms and a Super Fang, all 90% accurate moves, so always a fun time. And over here, I get the matchup I want. And over here, I'm like, well, he's going to go back out into Celebi more than likely. I'm going to go into Unagi, and he is going to end up going with the Celebi. So, I really can't do anything about this. And obviously, again, just bad timing with my moves. I'm going to go for the Volt Switch. It's not going to do a lot anyways. Even if I went for the Signal Beam, it would probably do a little bit less than half anyways. So, pretty unfortunate. Over here, I want to get the Rocks up, but obviously, Watermelon's just going to come back in. What I could have done over here is I could have just stayed in and just continuously went for Rocks as he went for Defog, but honestly, I didn't want to play that match. So we ended up going back into Elantros over here, and he goes to the Defog. So that's fine. Over here, I am going to predict a nice little switch, but he's not going to switch. He's actually going to go for the Super Fang. So good play on his part. We go for the Signal Beam. It's going to do pretty much nothing. I'm starting to get very, very tilted on all of these bulky mons, and honestly, over here, I just end up staying in. I just continuously went for the Signal Beam, but I knew this thing couldn't kill me with the Super Fang. So that was cool. He actually predicted me to use Rest, as I was AV this week anyways, and I go for the Thunderbolt, putting a lot of damage off onto the Golbat. Over here, he basically will have to sack this thing off. Roost is going to allow him to take on one more, but the one after that will not be able to kill him. So we're going to see what he's going to do over here. Will he sack it off? And he will sack it off. He's going to bring the Super Fang, and now he's dead. And I don't know why he got rid of his Golbat so quickly. I guess in case he were to switch out, we got Rocks up. So now we can get Rocks up anytime we want, and he brings back the Pinsir. So at this point, I really wanted to keep Elantros out there in case I could get a matchup with Suicune or whatever, but or just Celebi in general, because I knew Celebi couldn't touch me since I saw his 4 moves, and he had literally no moves on his Celebi. It was a utility Celebi. I was very upset whenever I saw this, honestly. I was very disappointed. Nothing against Bub, but having Pokemon that have literally no moves, I mean, I guess if that's the only way you can really beat this OP team, I guess that you gotta do what you gotta do. But over here he goes on a Greninja as I have the Elantros over here, and I want to still conserve Elantros in case I really need it in the future. In hindsight, I probably should not have done that. And he goes for the Hydro Boom and actually misses. So had I stayed in and gone for like the Volt Switch or even the Thunderbolt, I could have got a lot of damage off. Over here, I really should have gone for the rocks, but instead I go for the Moonblast. Get some decent damage off, and at this point I know I can go ahead and just get the rocks up and actually be able to live a return. So we go for the rocks as this thing cannot pretty much do anything anymore, and we gotta switch out and go into our Mega Metagross. He has not used Earthquake once, so I really am not anticipating Earthquake at all. I know I could take X-Scissor, I know I could take Return, I know I could take pretty much anything this thing wants to throw at me, and I know at this point it doesn't want to switch out. So he's gonna go for the Quick Attack to get some chip damage off, as I'm just gonna go for the Rock Slide and kill it off. So making some progress, but at this point we are really into the timer, and he's gonna go back to Greninja. At this point, all I can really do is get a Bullet Punch off. So I could have done a lot of different plays this match, but honestly I'm pretty disappointed with how I played. So we're gonna see over here, this thing is the Poisonium Z Greninja or the Life Orb Greninja, and he is showing the Life Orb. So over here I got into the Ments. This Ments is actually Scarf this week, and I actually make the double because I know he's gonna switch out, and I go into Unagi, trying to get this matchup with the Celebi. So he is gonna go into Suicune actually. And like I said, this is kind of the play I wanted, but at the same time, I wanted him to switch into it, and there's no way he's really going to switch into it. So, in hindsight, I should have just let the Electros die, but over here, I'm just going to go ahead and try to see what he wants to do. He's just going to go for the Scald. I was staying in case he went for the Calm Mind and went for the Volt Switch. You can never be too sure of what Suicune's want to do, especially late game. If they want to be a little bit snarky, they can just go straight for the Calm Mind. So, over here we go into the Clefable, and this is my opportunity to kind of just get a Moonlight off and see what I can really do. In case he also wanted to go for some Calm Minds of his own, I am unaware, so yeah. I'm going to go for the Moonlight over here, and on this turn, I made some stupid plays. So he goes for the Gunk Shot. I knew he had Gunk Shot. I should have just gone for the Moonblast. Instead, I went for the Moonlight, and with the Poison, I'm actually not able to stall out his Life Orb turns. So if I didn't get Poison, I probably could have stalled out his Life Orb turns, or at least a little bit more than I could have. But over here, I just Moonlighted a lot, and I should have just gone for the Moonblast. Had I done that, I could have won this match. Spoiler alert, I did not win this match. This match actually went down timer, like I mentioned before, and it ended up ending in a 3-3 matchup. So over here, he has 3 Pokemon, I have 3 Pokemon, and I'm going to go ahead and switch out to Conserve Differential. I'm going to go into Tentacruel, as I know that Gunk Shot won't kill me. And that is going to be the last play of the match. I didn't really want this match to end like this. I didn't want this match to even be like this in the first place. That's why I didn't really want to put like the live commentary in, because that match I feel was just not fun. I didn't have a fun time playing it, and I feel like you guys wouldn't have a fun time watching it, especially even if it's sped up like this. I feel like it's not even that fun to watch. But not really much you can do, unfortunately. It is what it is, and King Bub does take the 3-3 victory, so differential does not change, but he does go 3-3, I go 4-2, and this is a very crucial week for me to win to put a really big spot onto my division. Currently, Swami is still leading the division. He had a bye week this week, so who knows what will happen, if Gearhart's going to take over, if Swami will still be on top. But that's pretty much how it ended, and very unfortunate way to take a loss and whatnot. Just the Celebi having no moves really did hurt, and it's just unfortunate that it had to end like that. If I had clicked Moonblast, I could have won 3-2, but even if I had won this match, I feel like I wouldn't have a lot of justice towards the victory. I wouldn't feel very happy with it, and again, this is probably the worst game I've ever played, because I just didn't have fun playing it at all. And I play competitive for the competitive purposes, but I like to have fun with competition. This competition was not fun at all, and I was getting a bit tilted with it during the live match, which did influence some of my turns, and I also didn't really want this match to go to timer, but some turns I took a long time, some turns he took a long time. He did not timer stall me, so please do not hate on him. He did not timer stall me at all. It was just us taking a long time together. He even tried to make the last few plays as quick as possible. I took a while, so you know, it is what it is. I lose due to HP, which really sucks, but there's not much we can really do about that. That's just how Pokemon is. I wish there was a thing where it would ask you if both sides would like to have extra time, and it can give you like 10 minutes extra, and every single time it times out. If both people answer yes within a 60-second ratio, then it will turn 10 minutes longer than it would initially be. So a bit unfortunate, But shout out to Bub. Go check him out, guys. Link is down below to go see his channel. He's a very nice battler, and he did what he had to do to beat my team. I did misplay in certain parts. Had I been faster than the go-bat turn 1, that could have been a really, really big game changer. Had he not knocked off the Kebia Berry, like I mentioned earlier, that was very important. The Kebia Berry could have really came in the clutch against the Greninja, and he wouldn't know if I had it or not, so he would have gone for the gunk shot, would have done nothing, and Moonblast would have killed. So the knockoff was the best play, honestly. That was his clutch play of the whole entire matchup. The Meloetta having knockoff was so important, and not much we can really do about that. But I want to thank you guys very much for watching. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys thought about the match. Again, don't throw any hate to King Bub. If there's gonna be any hate, it should be towards me. I misplayed. I could have won at the end using Moonblast, so it is what it is. And he thought I was gonna bring a hyper-offensive team, and honestly, I am not too much of a hyper-offensive coach. So, yeah, just for future reference, anybody that wants to scout me out, I'm not all hyper-offense. Maybe I will be, because everybody anticipates it with me having this Mence and Metagross score, but it is what it is. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Peace out.